My 25th birthday gala. While I had my eyes closed making a wish, my best friend slapped me hard across the face 3 times. I stood frozen in shock, clutching my burning red cheek. Brooke raised her phone, filming me with a teasing laugh. They say if you slap your best friend 3 times, you get $10,000. Would you do it? I didn't hesitate for a single second. So, when is my 10 grand hitting my account? My boyfriend, Tyler, let out a soft laugh. He pulled out his phone and Venmo'd her on the spot. You actually believed that silly TikTok challenge? Well, since today is Chloe's birthday, I'll make your wish come true. After receiving the money, Brooke wrapped her arm around mine and smiled sweetly. It was just a joke. You're not actually mad, right? A chill ran down my spine. I grabbed Brooke by her jaw, wound at my hand and slapped her back 12 times in a row. Then I turned to my stunned boyfriend, smiling sweetly. That'll be $40,000, please. Tyler finally snapped out of it, looking at me like I was a monster. Chloe Henderson, she's your best friend. How could you hit her that hard? He immediately turned to Brooke, cupping her face to inspect the swelling. Brooke held her cheeks, tears streaming down her face uncontrollably. Chloe, we are done. I am never speaking to you again. With that, she ran out of the banquet hall sobbing. Tyler shot me a furious glare before chasing after her. His look said it all. He was blaming me for ruining Brooke's mood. Today was my 25th birthday gala. Aside from my parents who were currently in London on business, I had invited all my relatives. If things hadn't gone sideways, we were supposed to announce my engagement to Tyler right about now. But now the groom-to-be was gone. My relatives sat in awkward silence, none of them daring to make eye contact with me. I took a deep breath and forced a polite smile. Everyone, thank you for coming. I wanted to use this party to announce my engagement to Tyler Vance, but that's no longer happening. The engagement is off. Please don't feel awkward. Eat, drink, and have fun. Today is still my birthday. Let's celebrate. The room fell dead silent for a second, followed by quiet whispers. But I didn't care. I sat back down at the head table, completely composed. Aunt Sarah was the first to speak up, smiling warmly. Well, Tyler clearly can't tell a diamond from a piece of glass. He was never good enough for you anyway. Uncle Frank chimed in immediately.
Exactly.
Chloe is the crown jewel of the Henderson family. Who does Tyler think he is? Your uncle will find you someone 10 times better. The guests laughed and the tense atmosphere slowly warmed up. Near the end of the party, my phone buzzed in my pocket. It was a Snapchat message from Tyler. I managed to calm Brooke down. Come home, give her a proper apology, and we'll put this behind us. Expressionless, I locked my phone screen. Memories of our past flashed through my mind. I had always cherished my friendship with Brooke. I truly treated her like chosen family. But in the past, whenever we had a disagreement, she would give me the silent treatment until I bowed my head and apologized first. Over time, she got spoiled. She thought she could treat me however she wanted and make any offensive joke she pleased. If I didn't cater to her every whim, I was the bad guy. And after I started dating Tyler, things got even worse. At first, Tyler used to complain about Brooke, calling her a spoiled, dramatic brat. But later on, whenever Brooke and I argued, he stopped caring about who was right. He would always run to comfort Brooke first. Then he turned around and lectured me. Brooke is just sensitive. You have a better temper. So just let her have her way. I let her have her way over and over again. I endured it for so long that I almost forgot who I really was. I am not a pushover. After the party ended, I went down to the parking garage alone to get my car. From a distance, I saw my sports car's headlights were on. Tyler was in the driver's seat. Brooke was lounging comfortably in the passenger seat, her bare legs stretched out on the dashboard, looking incredibly cozy. The two of them were leaning close, laughing and chatting. I walked up and tapped on the window. Hearing the sound, Brooke's smile instantly vanished. She pretended not to see me, staring straight ahead with her chin up. Putting on quite the show, Tyler rolled down the window and frowned, signaling me with his eyes. Chloe, apologize to Brooke right now. You were completely in the wrong today. I crossed my arms and stayed silent. I wasn't the one who initiated the violence. Why should I be the one to apologize? Brooke lifted her chin even higher, her tone arrogant and dismissive, like I'd even care about her apology. My face remained blank. I'm not apologizing. Clearly shocked that the usually submissive me would talk back. She immediately turned to Tyler, whining poutily. Let's go. She's being impossible. You can't even reason with her. Tyler got out of the car, grabbed my arm and dragged me to the side, his face full of impatience. What is wrong with you today? It's just a simple apology. Do you have any idea how soft-hearted Brooke is? She insisted on staying here to wait for you, so we could go home together. She's giving you an easy way out. I violently yanked my hand back and said coldly, I don't need her charity. Hearing this, Brooke scoffed from inside the car and urged Tyler, stop wasting your breath on her. Let's just leave. I didn't want to waste another second arguing. I marched over and threw open the passenger door. Get out. Brooke gasped, staring at me in disbelief. I looked down at her coldly. This is my car. If you two want to leave, figure it out yourselves. Brooke ended up crying as she scrambled out of the car.
Brooke.
Tyler tried to grab her hand, but she shook him off. He turned around to glare at me, but I didn't give him the chance. I slammed the door, stepped on the gas, and my sports car roared out of the parking garage, leaving them in the dust. In the rearview mirror, Tyler's face was a blank slate of shock. I didn't go straight home. I went to my family's office first. Today, I was supposed to sign and hand over a stock transfer agreement to Tyler right after the engagement announcement. It was a 10% share of the Henderson Group, a prenup gift my parents had prepared for me. The money wasn't a big deal to my family, My parents, who were often abroad, just wanted to make sure Tyler would treat me well for the rest of my life. My office drawer, the brand new agreement, was lying quietly. I took out a pen, crossed out every single clause, and signed my name to avoid it. Generosity is only valuable when given to someone who appreciates it. This heavy wedding gift had now turned into a useless piece of scrap paper. After handling the paperwork, I drove back to our shared apartment. I walked up to the front door and entered the passcode I knew by heart. The screen flashed incorrect passcode. I paused, tried twice more, but the result was the same. The passcode had been changed. I pulled out my phone and called Tyler. The next second, a familiar ringtone echoed from inside the apartment. It rang for barely a second before being hastily declined. Then the smart doorbell screen lit up. Tyler's cold face appeared on the screen, but in the corner of the camera feed, I caught a glimpse of a white silk robe. I knew that robe too well. It was Brooke's signature loungewear. A cold smirk played on my lips. Open the door. Do I need to remind you whose name is on the deed? Chloe? Both of our names are on this property. I am a co-owner. I didn't argue. I just watched him play his pathetic game. This apartment was bought by Tyler's parents to make our commute easier, and they intended it to be our wedding home. Both of our names were registered on the title. After a tense silence, Tyler's tone softened slightly. Chloe, stop throwing a temper tantrum like a child. Apologize to Brooke, and I'll let you in. You really disappointed her today. I looked at the white silk hem fluttering in the corner of the screen, and suddenly laughed out loud. Tyler frowned. This is the second time Brooke has tried to make peace with you. Don't be ungrateful, and keep acting crazy. I raised my phone to the camera and smiled mockingly. Oh, I can act much crazier than this. For instance, I could call your dad right now and cry to him. In fact, he just texted me wishing me a happy birthday. Tyler's face instantly went pale. Don't call him. The man who had been refusing to let me in just a second ago threw the door open. In a panic, I brushed past him and walked straight inside. Hearing the door open, Brooke flinched. She didn't even dare to look me in the eye. Clutching her slippers, she bolted into the guest bedroom, slamming and locking the door behind her. Standing in the middle of the living room, staring at the locked door, a memory from a year ago flashed through my mind. Back then, we had just graduated from grad school. Brooke had no family in the city and couldn't find a decent place to live. When she was at her lowest, she showed up at my doorstep with her suitcase, crying her eyes out. She begged me to rent her my spare bedroom. My heart softened, and I agreed immediately. I charged her a symbolic rent of $500 a month to protect her. We even signed a formal lease agreement. But for the past 6 months, she hadn't paid a single dime. Knowing her financial situation was tight, I never brought it up. Tyler finished his call and quickly stepped in front of me, blocking my path. Enough. Brooke got slapped so many times today, she cried all afternoon. She has suffered enough. Don't go in there to provoke her and hurt her more. I slowly looked up at him. At this moment, I had to admit my taste in men was utterly garbage. Otherwise, how could I have ended up with such a pathetic boyfriend? And a toxic best friend? Ignoring Tyler, I went straight into the master bedroom to pack my things. Seeing me pull out my suitcase, Tyler began to panic. What are you doing? Why are you packing? I only asked you to apologize. I'm not kicking you out. I folded my shirts and packed them into the suitcase one by one. Tyler, don't you get it? I'm dumping you. Tyler froze, his pupils shrinking in disbelief. He stood there for a few seconds before letting out a nervous laugh, his eyes filled with arrogance. Chloe, stop playing games over a small argument. You're breaking up with me over this. He stepped forward, trying to grab my wrist. I've been patient enough with you. You were the one who resorted to violence today, and I didn't even hold it against you. Without looking up, I said calmly, a small argument, Tyler? On my 25th birthday, in front of my entire family, Brooke slapped me in the face for some cheap cash, and you happily vied her to cheer her on. And to you, that's just a small argument? Tyler choked on his words, his face turning red and white. Brooke, she's just immature. She loves playing around. She didn't mean any harm. Why do you have to be so stubborn? I finally stopped packing and looked him dead in the eye. She's immature. And what about you? When I was publicly humiliated, you didn't protect me. But the moment she sheds a few tears, your heart bleeds for her. Tyler, whose boyfriend are you anyway? Without a second of hesitation, Tyler replied, of course I'm your boyfriend. But didn't you tell me to look out for Brooke in the first place? I didn't answer him right away. While packing, I suddenly noticed that my designer mink coat, the one at the very back of the closet, was missing. My mom had bought it for me at a luxury auction in Paris last year. Because I rarely wore it, I kept it tucked away in the back. If you weren't looking for it, you wouldn't even know it was there. But now, after clearing out my clothes, that spot was completely empty. I spun around to face Tyler. Where is my mink coat? A flash of extreme guilt and panic crossed Tyler's face, but he quickly recovered, pretending to be nonchalant. Isn't it in the closet? Are you sure you didn't misplace it somewhere else? I stepped forward, wrapping his arms around me from behind. If it's lost, let it go. Don't be mad. I'll buy you the exact same one. Just stop talking about leaving and breaking up, okay? My body went completely rigid. A faint but familiar scent of gardenia perfume drifted into my nose. It was the perfume Brooke wore year-round. The scent was stuck to him, making my stomach churn with disgust. I pushed him away with all my might. Did Brooke take my coat? Tyler immediately frowned and defended her. No way. Stop making wild accusations. Whether it's a wild accusation or not, I'm going to check. I marched out of the master bedroom. As soon as I stepped out, I heard a sharp, panicked rustle of a door closing from Brooke's room. Clearly, she had been eavesdropping the entire time. I stood in front of her door, my tone flat, giving her one last chance to be civil. Open the door. After a few seconds of silence, the door cracked open slightly. Brooke peeked out with one teary eye, looking extremely guilty. Did you borrow my mink coat? I asked directly. Brooke instinctively looked at Tyler behind me. Tyler immediately softened his voice, trying to reassure her. It's okay, Brooke. If you took it, just bring it out. No one's going to get mad. With Tyler backing her up, Brooke suddenly found her courage. She turned and walked back into her room. I pushed the door fully open. The next second, my heart stopped. My $150,000 custom-made designer mink coat was casually laid out. The $150,000 mink coat was casually laid out across Brooke's bed. It wasn't just lying there. Brooke had clearly been wearing it. There were makeup stains on the collar, a lipstick mark near the sleeve, and one of the buttons had been scratched. I stared at it for 3 seconds. Then I laughed. Brooke's face immediately went pale. Tyler stepped between us. Chloe, calm down. Calm down. I pointed at the coat. She stole a $150,000 coat from my closet, wore it without permission, damaged it, and somehow I'm supposed to calm down? Brooke's eyes filled with tears. I didn't steal it. Then why is it in your bedroom? She opened her mouth. Nothing came out. Tyler sighed impatiently. She probably thought you wouldn't mind. I slowly turned toward him. She thought I wouldn't mind? He hesitated. That's what I said. Interesting. I picked up the coat and examined the damage. Then you won't mind when I call the police and tell them someone took my property without permission. Brooke's eyes widened. No. There it was. The first honest reaction she'd given me all night. I smiled. So you did take it. I was going to return it. When? Brooke swallowed. I only borrowed it. Without asking. I knew you'd say no. Exactly. She looked at Tyler for help. He immediately stepped forward. Chloe, there's no need to involve the police over a coat. A $150,000 coat. Fine. A $150,000 coat. His expression hardened. You're seriously going to humiliate Brooke over this? I stared at him. She's the one who stole from me. She didn't steal it. Then what would you call taking something that doesn't belong to you? Tyler had no answer. I picked up my phone. Actually, forget the police. Brooke visibly relaxed. I'm calling my lawyer. Her face fell again. Chloe. I ignored her and dialed. Within 30 seconds, my lawyer answered. I put a call on speaker. I need you to prepare a formal demand for the return of my property and compensation for damages. Brooke started crying. Tyler looked furious. You've lost your mind. No. I looked at him. I've just stopped being stupid. That shut him up. My lawyer asked me to send pictures of the coat. I snapped several photos. Then I noticed something else. The coat's original storage box was sitting beside Brooke's dresser. The box still had my mother's handwritten note attached to it. For Chloe, don't let anyone borrow this one. I stared at the note. Then I burst out laughing. Brooke looked terrified. What? I held up the note. My mother literally warned me. Tyler rubbed his forehead. Can we stop this? It's late. I looked at him. You're right. I picked up the coat. I'm leaving. Tyler's expression changed. Where? Anywhere you're not. He grabbed my suitcase. You're not taking all this. I snatched it back. Excuse me? You can't just walk out. I stared at him. Tyler, we're broken up. He looked genuinely stunned. You're still angry. No. I zipped my suitcase. I'm finished. Brooke suddenly stepped out of her room. Tyler. Her voice was soft and shaky. He immediately turned toward her. Are you okay? I almost laughed. Even now, even after everything, he still did it. He ran to her. I picked up my suitcase. Don't worry, Brooke. You can have him. Both of them froze. Tyler's head snapped toward me. What does that mean? It means I'm done fighting you over a man who clearly already chose. Brooke's face turned bright red. I never wanted Tyler. I raised an eyebrow. Then why are you living in my apartment, wearing my clothes, sitting in my boyfriend's car, and crying every time he looks at me? She went silent. Tyler's expression became uncomfortable. I smiled. Don't worry. I'm not going to expose you. Brooke blinked. I'm just going to let you two deal with each other. I walked toward the door. Tyler suddenly grabbed my arm. Chloe, wait. I looked down at his hand. He immediately let go. His voice softened. Where are you going? To my parents' house. They're in London. I know. Then where will you stay? I smiled. At my own hotel. Tyler stared at me. You're seriously leaving? Yes. And what about us? I laughed. There is no us. He looked genuinely panicked now. Chloe, you can't throw away 4 years because of one bad night. One bad night. I counted on my fingers. Your best friend humiliating me at my birthday. Stealing my coat. Living rent-free in my apartment. Taking over my car. Constantly demanding your attention. And you defending her every single time. I looked him straight in the eyes. That's not one bad night. That's 4 years of bad decisions. His face went pale. I opened the door. Then I paused. Oh, one more thing. Tyler looked up. Tomorrow morning, I'm having the locks changed. His expression collapsed. But I'm the co-owner. I know. I smiled sweetly. That's why I'm not changing the locks. He looked relieved. I'm changing the entire security system. His relief disappeared. And your access code? I stepped into the hallway. Deleted. The door slammed shut behind me. For the first time all night, I felt completely free. My phone buzzed before I even reached the elevator. A message from my mother. Happy birthday, sweetheart. Did you give Tyler the engagement gift? I looked at the message. Then at the contract sitting inside my handbag. I smiled. No. I typed back. I found someone who deserves it more. 3 dots appeared immediately. Who? I grinned. Me. Then I transferred the 10% shares into my personal holding company. My birthday present to myself. A few seconds later, another message arrived. This one was from Tyler. Please come back. We need to talk. I deleted it. Then another. Chloe, I'm serious. Deleted. Then another. Brooke and I are just friends. I actually laughed out loud in the elevator. Sure. And I was the Queen of England. When the elevator reached the lobby, I walked straight outside. My phone buzzed again. This time it wasn't Tyler. It was an unknown number. The message contained only one photo. It was a picture of Tyler and Brooke sitting together in my car. Underneath it were 6 words. You really should check his phone. I ignored the unknown message. I wasn't interested in playing detective. I already knew enough. The next morning, I walked into the Henderson Group headquarters with my coffee in one hand and my divorce-level breakup paperwork in the other. My assistant nearly choked when she saw me. Miss Henderson, aren't you supposed to be engaged today? Was supposed to be. I dropped the paperwork on her desk. Cancel everything related to the engagement. Everything. Everything. By noon, the entire family knew. My aunt called to congratulate me. My uncle sent me 3 potential bachelor profiles. My mother called from London and listened to the whole story before saying one thing. Good. Don't take Tyler back. I wasn't planning to. Excellent. Then she hung up. Meanwhile, Tyler was having a complete meltdown. He showed up at the office carrying flowers. I sent him back downstairs. He came again with chocolates. I sent those back too. Finally, he marched into my office himself. Chloe, enough. I looked up from my laptop. Why are you here? Because you refuse to talk to me. We're broken up. There's nothing to discuss. His face tightened. You can't just throw away 4 years. You already helped throw them away. He went quiet. Then he sighed. I made a mistake. Several. I'll fix it. You can't. He stepped closer. Then what do you want? I smiled. My coat returned. He froze. And my $3,000 rent Brooke owes me. His expression became even worse. And the damages to my car. Chloe. And an apology. He stared at me. For what? I raised an eyebrow. Exactly. He stood there for a few seconds before turning around. Fine. I smiled. Goodbye, Tyler. He stopped at the door. You really don't love me anymore? I thought about it. I love myself more. Then I went back to work. 3 days later, Brooke moved out. She left behind 2 garbage bags, half a bottle of perfume, and a handwritten note saying she hoped I would learn to forgive. I threw the note away. The mink coat went to a luxury restoration specialist. Tyler paid the repair bill. Brooke paid 6 months of back rent after my lawyer sent her the invoice. And the engagement party? My family refused to cancel it. They simply turned it into a giant birthday celebration instead. My aunt even hired a DJ. By the end of the night, I was dancing with my cousins when someone tapped my shoulder. I turned around. A tall man I'd never met before stood there, holding a champagne glass. You're Chloe Henderson, right? Depends who's asking. He laughed. I'm Marcus Vale. I raised an eyebrow. And my mother told me I should meet you. I stared at him, then burst out laughing. Is your mother also trying to arrange your marriage? Unfortunately. Then we're both victims. He smiled. Want to escape together? I looked around at my relatives, then at him. Lead the way. And for the first time in years, I walked away from a relationship without looking back. Tyler could keep Brooke. Brooke could keep Tyler. As for me, I had a company to run, a birthday to finish celebrating, and apparently a new man to annoy. Honestly, it was shaping up to be a pretty good 25th birthday after all.